The importance of cold calling as a habit for B2B sales teams. Hey, I'm Kevin Downey from Kevin M. Downey. Thanks for being here for another edition of the show. Quick video today is the importance of cold calling as a habit. I talk about this all of the time on this channel, when I'm on podcasts. You know, business development, lead generation is a hard, grinding gig these days. Absolutely difficult. There is no doubt about it. It's got a lot of sales teams frustrated, but one thing I can tell you is that it still works. Activity still breeds business. Doesn't matter what kind of B2B company you have. I hear all of the time companies say, well, we're unique, we're special in our industry, we're relationship based. Well, you can't start a relationship without introducing yourself at some point, right? So you have to reach out and introduce yourself, your company, your products, your services. That starts with your sales or your business development team. Now, business development reps at companies are tasked with cold outreach pretty much nonstop, which makes it pretty easy to keep them on task, right? Because that's all they're supposed to do. But one of the epidemic challenges we have in the United States is the sales teams, the actual salespeople, not doing the cold outreach that they should be doing, especially if they have somewhat of a client base built. So in other words, if they're 30, 40, 50%, 60% full with customers based on a target, for example, let's say they can handle 100 customers, they have 50 customers. Boy, we see that cold outreach really drop off with sales reps once they've got other things going. They're talking to customers, they're getting reorders, but they don't have a full book of business. They're not meeting number, they're not meeting quotas, but yet they're not doing the cold outreach they should be doing. It is crucial that you establish cold outreach, cold calling, prospecting as a daily habit. I learned this from one of my mentors, Dan Jordan, the sales energizer. If you don't know Dan, he's phenomenal. And I've got to tell you, he taught me from day one, cold calling is a habit, right? You got to do it every single day, even if you don't need to anymore. If you create the habit, the beautiful thing is you will feel like it's kind of like exercise for some people, right? You'll feel like your day is incomplete if you didn't spend an hour doing cold outreach and introducing yourself. That is what you want in your sales team. You want it to be a habit, a daily habit. They must do it every single day, even if they've got a full book of business. Rather than the reverse, which is keep waiting for leads to come in and we keep pinging people on LinkedIn and sending manual emails because we don't want to pick up the phone. Cannot have that. We must create the daily habit of cold outreach with our B2B sales teams. Every single day, they've got to do it. And the amount of time that they do it should be relative to how much open time they have as far as customer base. In other words, if their target customer base is 100 customers, roughly, I'm using fuzzy math, of course, and they've got 25 customers, well, guess what? 75% of their day should be doing cold outreach, cold prospecting. And they can't stop doing it. They've got to set aside time to do it, right? They can use 25% of their day, early in the morning and maybe mid-afternoon, late afternoon, to deal with customers and emails and all that stuff. But if they're only 25% full as a customer base, why are we spending 75, 90% of our day dealing with existing customers? That can't happen, right? That doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So we've got to get them in a routine, in a habit of doing cold outreach, cold prospecting every single day. I don't care if it's boots on the ground. I don't care if it's picking up the phone, but it's got to be one of those two things. Okay, so if you need any help with that, reach out to us, kevinmdowney.com. We've got, obviously we recruit sales and business development reps for clients all of the time. And of course, we have our outsourced inside sales team that you can hire on a month-to-month basis if you would rather do that than, say, hire somebody as a W-2 or directly. Okay, so reach out to us, kevinmdowney.com. Thanks for being here today. Best of luck in business, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.